Hey guys, do you know that there's a rule to have a joker carved in all Hindu temples? We know that the only sensible way to live in this world is without rules. Yet, there is such a rule. It's not an option. All Hindu temples must have at least one carving of the joker. How did such a crazy rule come into effect? This makes no sense, right? Did the British force Indians to make such carvings during their occupation of India? Did they do this to discredit Hinduism? No, the carvings of the Joker are seen in very ancient temples. For example, this is a 1,300-year-old temple, and you can see the so-called Joker. Who is he, and why do they still carve this Joker in new temples? Nobody knows about him today, and if you ask any expert or priest, they will refer to him simply as the Vidushaka, a Sanskrit word that also means clown or joker. Some experts argue that there is a lot of humor in ancient Indian carvings, so they dismiss this carving as just a joker or a clown. For example, you can see a dancing woman here, and this guy has been watching her from the back while she is dancing. But she suddenly turns around and reveals her face. And it turns out that he is a man. Even though he has some parts of the woman, this face reveal results in absolute horror for this guy. The sculptor actually carved a round hole in the mouth to show the shock. And look at this accomplice of the scammer. She's absolutely loving what is going on, unable to control her laughter. Because of carvings like these, we can easily dismiss this as just another joker or a clown. But there's a problem. Why does he appear again and again in all the temples? Why is it mandatory to carve him in temples, and he doesn't do anything? He just stands there with his strange breakdancing move. The truth is, this forgotten figure is not a joker. He is a saint by the name of Ashtavakra. And he is smiling because it confuses people. He is smiling because it's easier than explaining what is killing him inside. He is not breakdancing. He has a medical condition called rickets. Deformity of the limbs is the result of extreme case of this disorder. When we look at actual patients suffering from rickets, we can see why he is shown like this in the carving. And that's precisely what his name, Ashtavakra, also means. It means 8 bends or 8 curves. And the carvings accurately depict his 8 bends. Now, here's a fun fact. A certain species or genus of spider is named after him. These types are called Ashtavakra sexmucronata, something like this. I mean, you can definitely see why this 8-legged insect is named after him. Now, when did he live? There are 2 ancient Indian epics, and he is mentioned in both of them. So he lived at least 2,000 years ago. Although he could have lived in a much, much older time. He's always shown with an umbrella. Sometimes it's open, sometimes it's closed, or he wears a long hat, which makes me think he was allergic to sunlight. And we all know that sunlight gives you vitamin D, and rickets is caused by the lack of vitamin D. But all this doesn't explain why this specific guy with rickets must be carved in all the Hindu temples, right? I mean, there must have been lots of people with physical and mental abnormalities. So why should the ancient builders carve just this guy everywhere? Because he earned it. He's known for writing a very advanced book on metaphysics called Astavakra Gita. Some people say This book is so advanced in philosophy that it rivals the ancient text of Bhagavad Gita itself, and it's also said to be written around the same time. But there is a shocking difference between his book and the Bhagavad Gita. His book denies the existence of God. Some even consider this book to be the first atheistic text or godless text, and he dismisses all duties and morals as unnecessary and talks about how to achieve enlightenment and free your mind of all worries and fears. It's strange how an atheist who denied the existence of God or gods can be carved in Hindu temples. Why would ancient builders do that? Because he contributed to the society in spite of his physical limitations. Most people think that Hinduism is just about polytheism, but it also embraces monotheism, theosophy, and even atheism. The Indian culture is so old, it includes all schools of thought. This is why you see Buddha carved in many Hindu temples. Remember, Buddhism openly rejects Hindu rituals, and you can still see carvings of Buddha. And Ashtavakra is essentially an atheist, and you can see his carvings in all Hindu temples, at least most of them. Now, interestingly, he is often carved in places where people are indulging in physical pleasures. He is often shown looking at them and laughing at them, and we can only guess why. Maybe it is a frustrated smile because he could not indulge in such sensual pleasures, but he is shown laughing at them, almost ridiculing them for their physical cravings. It is said that once he entered a royal court, and people immediately started laughing at his appearance. He patiently waited for their laughter to quiet down, only to laugh back at all of them. He called them all shoemakers, as shoemakers can only look at the skin of an animal. He laughed at their superficial nature. He laughed at people who wasted their time on appearances. He laughed at people who lost track of their lives because of sensual pleasures. There is a very deep philosophy hidden in this carving. Maybe that is why it is carved in every temple. But there is a strange twist or an untwist in the story. He got cured of this condition. We don't exactly know how this happened, but according to some legends, he was healed of all his deformities and he could walk like a normal person again. I think that some carvings show the healed version of Ashtavakra as well. In some temples, you don't see the quote-unquote joker, but you will see a saint. But if you look at his hands, you will see an umbrella and a vessel, the same iconography of Ashtavakra. If you don't see him in this form, maybe you will see him like a regular saint. I hope this video was as interesting to you as it was for me. I've been trying to find information about this guy for more than 10 years. I was looking at his carving in every temple I went to, and nobody knew who he is. And it was frustrating, and finally we figure out who he is. I think we're making progress in understanding ancient temples, and I am grateful for your support. I'm Praveen Mohan. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.